Alright guys, so what is up and what is good? Today I'm going to be giving you a tier list on the Roblox anime game Spiked, the best weapons from that game. That's based off of Haikyuu. Within this video I'll also tell you the best weapons for each position, like middle blockers, outsides and opposites, setters and liberos. So to start off with, I'll just give a basic rundown of what's the best weapons in general. So to start off with, this is the passives. So if we go into the TRELLO here, that is these. So for example, for power, you can get like just 5% power. So that's going straight to D tier because that's really bad. Now moving on to hybrid serve, it's also D tier. This makes it so you get an extra 10% power on both of your serves, jump, flow, and power serve. So yeah, that's D tier. So it's ricochet. So ricochet just means that whenever you hit the ball and wipe someone, the wipes just go further away basically, and they're more powerful. So they're kind of useless as of right now. Then we got soft touch. Now soft touch is just basically whenever you block, if you do get wiped, it doesn't go as far, it goes quite short. It's a lot easier to receive, but it's not that much of great effect to use there. Next we have float. Again, it's not that useful, but it's still not a bad weapon. So float just basically means that it has a very long curve, or very unpredictable curve. As you can see here, the float is it's a lot more unpredictable, so it can be used if you want to use it. It is really up to you, but I think it's a C tier, and I don't really think it's any good. Next we move on to safeguard. Now safeguard is a libero type of weapon. It increases your receiving hitbox, so this is only receiving, not diving, by 20%. So if you're a libero, this could be classed as an S tier, but obviously in general, safeguard and guardian are both B tier. Now guardian is diving, so if you dive to receive, that is what guardian does. It just gives you 20% extra hitbox on diving. Then we have quick step, which it's got I think a 30-second cooldown, and it increases your speed by quite a bit. So all that quick step does is lets you move around the core a lot faster. Yeah, 30% speed buff, and it's got 15-second cooldown, sorry. Yeah, 30% speed buff for 5 seconds. So this can obviously be good if you're a libero again, or if you're a setter maybe, move around, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's not very useful, and you can get around 3 different rallies within 15 seconds. So it's kind of like a one-time luck thing. But next we have block breaker. Now the reason this is not useful is because again it's got a cooldown, and overall it's not very useful. So if we go on the block breaker here, cooldown 80 seconds, and you gotta aim at the spiker's hands, and as you see there, it'll kind of block, it will go through them. And yeah, it's not really useful. Obviously if you're a spiker it's going to be useful, but the cooldown just doesn't make it worth it compared to some of the other weapons. So next up, for the last B tier, is perfect toss. Now perfect toss over here in the TRELLO is a setter's weapon, and what it does is it gives 50% extra ball hitbox for the spikers. So if the ball's a bit behind or a bit in front, it's obviously 50%, so you can probably reach it, or a bit higher. However, the cooldown is 40 seconds, which is a long time for a setter, as he touches the ball literally every rally. It's going to be quite hard to make that actually a useful thing. So personally, I wouldn't use it as a setter. That's why it's in B tier, because its ability is good, but it's just the cooldown again, that's what takes it away. Next up in A tier, the first is full approach. Now full approach is something that in Spiked you have to charge your jump, which takes about a second, With full approach, you can just tap the spacebar and you'll instantly reach the peak of your jump. Now obviously if you're a middle blocker and you jump and it's actually a high or a medium, you can instantly jump again once you land. And it's really good because obviously, you know, it lets you get around the core a lot faster and lets you block a lot faster. And even if you're doing quicks, you can just instantly jump. So full approach is alright, but like if you're an outside, you're probably not going to need it because the ball's probably going to come quite slow. Or like if you're like, I don't know, obviously a libero or second outside, you might not need it as much. And same with setter, you probably won't need it. So it's going to stay in A tier because it is quite good, but it's just not that good, you know. Moving on, we have the iron wall, which it's not crazy like you would think it is. It's basically on the TRELLO, it gives you 20% extra hitbox when blocking, which is actually quite good. That's why it's in A tier, because let's say, like, for example, you're a middle blocker or you're an outside maybe, and you're moving around, you might not be able to always get in the right position fully. So with this, you can then, you know, maybe not make it as close as you want to be, however still block because of that hitbox. So iron wall can be really good, but it's going to stay in A tier. Now next up is another blocking weapon, a movable. Now a movable, again, is an A because of its cooldown. However, a movable is an ability where if the spiker hits your hitbox anywhere, it will just go straight down. It'll block it. There is no wiping it. You can't wipe it. It goes straight down. The only way you can avoid it is if you use block breaker, but otherwise it just goes straight down and there is nothing you can do. Also you can counter it by using libero as well, just standing there and covering for you. But honestly, it's a really good weapon. However, it's 100 cooldown, which is nearly 2 minutes, and therefore that is why it's in A tier. And now the last A tier we have is minus tempo. Now minus tempo, if we have a look here on the TRELLO, is it's a setter weapon again. It's 50-second cooldown, and what it is it's very fast. It's obviously, if you've watched Haikyuu, you'll know that Hinata and Kageyama, the duo, they use minus tempo, and this is what it looks like here. It's just a really fast set now. It used to be very good back in testing stages, however they have decreased the speed by quite a bit, and now it's become a bit worse. It also can be quite hard to hit, but the reason it's in A tier is mainly because the other two weapons for setter is just so good that it kind of outweighs this as well. But along with the cooldown, that is the main reasons why. So next up, we actually have the best setter weapon in the game, Conductor. Now this is an opinion based, this is factual, it is the best setter weapon in the game, and the reason for it is because obviously it's another setter weapon. However, it gives the setter, every time he sets the ball, 20% power buff to whoever it hits it to. Now obviously this is great because it's a passive, so there is no cooldown, and whoever sets the ball will gain a 20% power buff. So this can be good because the wipes will be harder, obviously the spikes will be faster, it'll be harder for the other team to react, and it's overall just a really good weapon. And the fact that it's a passive is what makes it so good. So Conductor is overall just a really great setter weapon, and that's why it's first on the S tier. Second to last then, in S tier, we have Boom Jump. Now Boom Jump is very good. It allows the player to jump higher based on the height. Now if you're tall, it'll boost your jump by a very small amount. However, if you're short, then it'll give you more of a boost. So an example of this is obviously in Haikyuu, we see Hinata and I don't know what that guy's name is, but we see Hinata use Boom Jump basically, as he jumps like the same height as everyone else. Obviously he's got he's got a talent for jumping, and this shows this lets you use the ability that he uses basically. So you can jump even over blockers if you're short. So if you're like, I don't know, 5'3" to 5'5", you can basically hit over any blocker, or you can get a wipe guaranteed. So that's why boom jump is very good, and also lets you jump faster than people without boom jump. So yeah, boom jump's overall really good. And then the last weapon we have is powerful. Now powerful is really good because it allows the user to gain a 20% power boost, or spike power boost. So whenever you're serving or spiking the ball, you gain a 20% power buff. Now imagine this upon conductor as well, and you obviously get a 40% power boost, which is a lot better than a lot of people think it is. It's obviously nearly, 150% better than anyone without them. So powerful is really good. It can be used on mainly any position apart from libero, and that's why it's so useful. It's so versatile, and it's just useful for anything. But yeah, that concludes the tier list for everything in spiked weapons. Now I'm going to quickly go on to the best weapons for each position. Alright, so now we have the best weapons for each position. I'm not going to use a tier list for this, I'm just going to tell you guys, put it on the screen. So for middle blocker, the best height is 7 foot. Obviously you can go a bit shorter if you want to, but the max height you can get is 7 foot, and that's really the best you can get. Then you want a movable, so then you completely shut down all your all your spikers that are going against you, and you just completely shut them down whenever you want. And then you also want full approach, so you can jump from opposite side to outside and middle really fast. And obviously if you get faked out by a quick, and it's actually a medium or high, you can instantly jump again. Next we're going on to outside. So there's two different outside builds you can do. You can either do be short and be like 5'3" to 5'5" and have boom jump and powerful. Because obviously the shorter you are as well, the less power you have. So you want powerful and then boom jump, so you can jump over blockers, or you can be tall with powerful and block breaker or iron wall. So tall is around 6'6". You don't really want to be going above 6'6", 6'8", because otherwise you moving around the court will be a lot slower, because it does base off height your speed. So that's outside. That's the two different builds you can have. Next we have setter. So really you want conductor and powerful, because in the game obviously setter dumps, you don't have the option to like dump like you would in just real life volleyball. So a lot of people, they just spike the ball down as setters. So obviously you want powerful for that, and you want to be around 6'6", so you're quite tall, so you can get to the ball faster as well. And yeah, you want around powerful so you can dunk on people. Alternative could be minus tempo, but that's all I would do apart from that. And now the final position, the second to last position, is opposite. So personally I'm an opposite, and I use boom jump and powerful, and I'm also 6'3", so I still get a bit of boom jump, but I still want to be tall. So 6'3", boom jump powerful is what I find to be the perfect position, as it lets you get around the court quite fast because receiving and covering a lot. And it lets your like hits and spikes, because you're the main position that spikes from backcourt. So being opposite, you need to be, you need to make sure your spikes are still powerful for them. And then the final build is for libero. And to be honest with you, it's safeguard is a guarantee you must have. And then you have the option between guardian or quick step. Now I would prefer guardian with this, but there is a quick step if you want to use it. And if ideally you want to be short as possible, so you want to be around 5 foot. Obviously if you can if you can't get it, because it is quite hard to get, then 5'1", 2 or 3 is fine. But yeah, so that concludes the spiked weapon C list and the best for each build. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, see you.